previous video, we proved this equation number 1, and in this video, we are going to prove some quantity. What is that quantity? What is that equation? In fact, that equation, uh, we will see what was that equation when we get the answer. So we started from we start from this equation where we have rho u tilde is equal to this equation and p tilde is equal to this given equation. What we do, we put the values for rho u tilde first. So we get partial by partial t. Rho u tilde is rho naught u tilde plus u naught rho tilde. I put it this value into this equation, this term, plus minus u naught square plus p dash rho naught, and we know that the rho tilde is given over here, and we can find rho tilde is equal to p tilde divided by p dash rho naught. We put that value over here, partial by partial x, so on. So I put this value over here, partial by partial x, and rho tilde is p tilde divided by p dash rho naught. The last term is 2 u naught partial by partial x, and rho u tilde is this expression. We get rho naught u tilde plus u naught rho tilde is equal to 0. We simplify it. The first term is rho naught partial u tilde by partial t plus u naught partial rho tilde by partial t, and then we multiply these two equations. First we multiply this term and then multiply p dash with partial derivative. So we get minus u naught square p dash rho naught. Since p dash rho naught is a constant, it is just a number, partial p tilde by partial x. Now we see the next term, this term over here, and you can see that these two terms will be cancelled out. These two terms will cancel out, and we get plus partial p tilde by partial x. And in the last term, we have plus 2u naught rho naught partial u tilde by partial x plus 2u naught square partial rho tilde by partial x is equal to 0. So that's what we get after putting the given expression that we derived in previous equation in previous video. Previously we have derived these two equations. Now what we do, we have probably, okay, The next thing I can see that I can put the value of rho tilde over here from this equation. So we get rho naught partial u tilde by partial t plus and u naught over p dash rho naught partial p tilde by partial t. Okay, we got it. Let me just think about that, what else we can do. And we also have minus u naught square p dash rho naught. This remains the same, partial p tilde by partial x plus, this is next term, I'm here, plus partial p tilde by partial x plus 2 rho naught u naught partial u tilde by partial x plus. Now we do the same. We put the value of rho tilde from this equation, and I repeat, rho tilde is p tilde divided by p dash rho naught. So we put that value over here to u naught square, and when we put the value we get p dash rho naught outside of the derivative, and partial p tilde by partial x is equal to 0. That's it. Okay, now you can see that there is some simplification. What that simplification is? The first thing we see over here that these two terms are same. These two terms are same over here. So we can write rho naught partial u tilde by partial t plus u naught over p dash rho naught partial p tilde by partial t plus u naught square. Now I am adding these two terms, this term and this term. So we get u naught square over p dash rho naught partial p tilde by partial x plus partial p tilde by partial x plus 2 rho naught u naught partial u tilde by partial x is equal to 0. Okay. Now, if we simplify few things over here, let me see what else I can do. Okay. Right. In fact, I have written one equation over here, but we actually transformed this equation into some other terms, some other expression, which I will talk about that later on. So what we get, rho naught partial u tilde by partial t plus, we can take a common from here, u naught over p dash rho naught, that term become partial p tilde by partial t plus u naught. Since we have taken u naught over p dash rho naught common, we get partial p tilde by partial x plus partial p tilde by partial x plus 2 rho naught u naught partial u tilde by partial x is equal to 0. And from our previous equation that I was talking about from this equation, we have converted this equation into some other form, and that equation was uh, partial p tilde by partial t plus u naught partial p tilde by partial x plus k naught partial u tilde by partial x is equal to 0. So that was this equation. We will use this equation over here. How we can use that? Since this term is the same as this expression, so we put this equal to uh, the right hand side. There is less space left, but I have to do some calculation. Rho naught partial u tilde by partial t plus u naught over p dash rho naught, and here I get minus k naught partial u tilde by partial x plus partial p tilde by partial x plus 2 rho naught u naught partial u tilde by partial x is equal to 0. Okay, now what we can do over here, if we remember, uh, we have to simplify it further. I just copy that and think about it, what we can do. I just copy that and go to the next page. Copy and paste. Okay. Still, it is not as simplified as we like. Rho naught partial u tilde by partial t minus k naught u naught p dash rho naught. It should be partial u tilde by partial x plus partial p tilde by partial x plus 2 rho naught u naught partial u tilde by partial x is equal to 0. Now what I can do, maybe I have to use some other expression, but the question is, what was that expression? It was actually some kind of relation between k naught and some other term. Let me just think about it. What was that term? Okay. Yes, there was some k naught. It was in fact rho naught partial u tilde by partial t minus u naught over p dash rho naught, and we put the value of k naught, and that value is rho naught p dash rho naught. I hope this was the value that we can put in k naught. So this value is over here. You can check from the previous videos that we have actually written k naught is equal to rho naught p dash rho naught. Okay. If this is true, then what we can do, we can move to next simplification plus partial p tilde by partial x plus 2 rho naught u naught partial u tilde by partial x is equal to 0. We cancel these two terms and we get minus u naught rho naught, and this will be simplified further by solving these two terms. So you get the idea. It becomes rho naught partial u tilde by partial t plus rho naught u naught partial u tilde by partial x plus partial p tilde by partial x is equal to 0. So that is one of the simplest form that we want to get. Previously, we obtained the first equation. What was the first equation that we have proved? Let me see. What was that equation? Okay, that equation was partial p tilde by partial t plus k naught partial u tilde by partial x plus u naught partial p tilde by partial x is equal to 0. That equation that we converted in the previous video. It means that we took this equation and converted into this equation. Now in this video, we converted this equation into this equation. So these two are the two equations that we needed. These two equations are called acoustic equations, but it is a linearized version. Linearization we used here. I hope you get the point. Thank you for watching.